John Reconciler, reconciliatory hat-wearing kidnapper, if this movie poster is to be believed. That's right, when the world needed him most, John Kramer retired, and his overly religious brother-in-law took up the mantle of problematic, moralistic babysitter. Fantastic! Hello, and welcome to Foot the Bill, where we audit your favorite media. My name is Trey, and today, well, if you couldn't already tell, we're covering The Reconciler. The Reconciler is a pseudo-Christian remake of Saw, wherein victims are kidnapped and forced to reconcile their differences for their freedom. If they can't reconcile in time, they die. Probably. It's implied, at least. But whatever, it's basically a Saw movie, which means we can audit it, which means we have to talk about, say it with me, the rules. Very good, you're learning.
And that wouldn't have been necessary if you'd simply played by the rules. But you don't like rules, do you?
No utilities get charged for. Anything that can be reasonably scavenged from the area will not be accounted for. Remember, kids, if you can dig it out of the trash, it's not an expense, it's foraging. All prices are calculated in the year depicted. This piece de garbaggio came out in 2014, 2015? Yeah, roughly. A time famous for Snapchat, avocado toast, the ice bucket challenge, and Russia's illegal annexation of Crimea. That's right, avocado toast started in 2014. Oh yeah, I have the flu while I'm writing the script, so bear with my fever-stricken one-watch take of this weird movie. Also, I got a new microphone. Do I sound good? Do I sound like over-analytical honey in your ears? Drip, drip. That's the sound of my voice dripping into your brain. Be sure to subscribe so my words can nestle into the folds of your skull and echo into oblivion. Hell yeah. So, can this ChatGPT Bible camp ass Jigsaw afford to kidnap a bunch of people and force them into group therapy at the risk of starvation? Or does Sigjaw spend it all in a relapsed Vegas binge of biblical proportions? Let's find out. The movie begins with handwriting. Shield your eyes, kids. It's cursive. Soon it's gonna start talking about how you can get a job with a firm handshake and a well-kept checkbook. Ugh. The letter is addressed to Jeff. No, not that Jeff, but these are the hands of the Reconciler, so let's get charging. Now, you may think I'd charge individually for a quill and ink and paper and sealing wax and a seal, but you'd be wrong. I got one of these kits when I was a kid, had everything all in one go, so you could still get them in 2014, so we'll just charge for the kit and a lighter. We transition into a suspiciously clean warehouse where a Twinkie Tumblr boy is waking up next to a still passed out guy. The guy is nameless to us for now, but we can admire the Twinkie boy try to shoulder check the door. Any day now, bud. I call this trial Jesus Understands Negativity. Kids incite new threats. Healthy emotional therapy requires unconscious new knowledge. Or junk in the trunk. We'll get through this together. I promise. I promise. Tumblr Boy introduces us to a few key items in the room, including a keypad security system holding the door shut, as well as a fully stocked bathroom. Yup, it's a Saw movie. In the bathroom, we've got some paper towels, toilet paper, canned food, water, and what looks like 3 sleeping bags. Well, damn, son, at least you'll be comfortable when you die. Back in the main room, Tumbler Tyler Durden starts smacking the other guy with a cane to wake him up, like you do, and the two exchange pleasantries. Ed, that's Ed, has no idea what he's doing here, while Smitty, that's Smitty, apparently, thinks he can pry the bolts off an 8-inch steel plate and squeeze through the hole. Smitty, which, let's be honest, that is not your real name. I just don't think you're gonna fit in there, bud. Don't clip that. Ed beckons Smitty down, but asks he do so slowly. Smitty complies, smirking at his new friend. God, this energy is so weird. I feel like I'm in an adult film, which could be explained by the presence of director Sean Justice, director at film. What? You're not familiar with Shawn Justice, director at film? Perhaps you've heard of his movie Stripperland, the sexy remake of Zombieland. What, you're not familiar with Stripperland, the sexy remake of Zombieland? Well, perhaps you've heard of I Am Virgin, the sexy remake of I Am Legend. Yeah, so there's two guys who made The Reconciler become a reality. The first is obviously Shawn Justice, who built his career on sexy remakes of pre-existing movies, which, now that I think about it, does make his involvement in a Saw remake sensible, although it could definitely be sexier. The other guy is Scott Galbraith, God, I hope I'm saying that right, who is played by none other than Ed. So he's doing the whole Lee Winnell thing by being in his own movie. And it's definitely not to save money. No, it's absolutely to save money. The IMDb page for this movie is pretty wild. So Scott there became a full-time magician in 2004. Then in 2007, he started directing plays for his church with a bunch of the cast from this movie. All right, I'm just going to read this off the page because, hey, it was written by Scott. After being an extra in Mass Holes, Scott realized doing movies wasn't all he thought it would be. And for many years, he concentrated on his magic career for kids and corporate events. He continued to write plays for his church and try his hand at screenwriting. He has written several screenplays, most of which he describes as, quote, not very good, end quote. It was a play that he did for his church called The Reconciler that caught the attention of up-and-coming filmmaker Shawn Justice, who Scott met through a mutual Facebook friend who, apparently, neither of them have ever met in person. Also, I hope you're enjoying this behind-the-scenes footage that I found on Shawn Justice's YouTube channel. Shawn received Scott's screenplay, and after some extensive rewrites and an included B-plot, the story was ready to go. Speaking of B-plots, Lori, that's Lori, is currently writing an AI prompt to generate a married couple. Trapped in her 21st century content hellscape, Lori seeks purpose, challenge, something that ignites her soul. Also, her boss, Russ, that's Russ, is the maniac from It's Always Sunny, played by Roddy Piper.
The maniac loves you. Even with your Wait! Even with your feathers! Hey, I love you! I love you too, man!
And he gives a very weird pep talk and some vague instructions about her next story.
You know, you've put in your time. And you always got your head down. You're working hard. You never complain. I love you for it. You get your job done. How would you like to sink your teeth into something real?
Guy sounds like he's trying to get her to retire. And you know what? He might be. We'll catch up with her later. Back in the warehouse, Ed and Smitty are trying to figure out why they're locked in together. Ed reveals he's a reporter with enemies.
But I've made a lot of enemies in my line of work.
Cool, I bet. While frisking themselves, Smitty locates a mysterious key on a mysterious ribbon in his mysterious pocket. The key does not in fact go to their shackles, if they had any, but instead to the master lock affixed to the AV tour trunk under their butts. Unlocking said trunk reveals a body, holy shit, in a fitted sheet. And the two proceed to pull it out of there. But that body isn't dead, it's alive! And it's Smitty's brother! Thankfully, whoever kidnapped them also put smelling salts in the trunk because he's thoughtful.
Get off me! Get away! I don't know who you are, what you want from me, but I know karate!
Having woken up, it's revealed that Smitty's brother is named Alex, and also that Smitty's name is actually James.
James? I thought he said his name was Smitty.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. The heat of the moment sparked a thought in Ed's brain, and he might know who kidnapped them.
How's your guys' relationship right now?
I don't see what that has to do with any of this, man.
They call him the Reconciler.
Bum, bum, bum. We did it. We made it to the title of the movie. Yeah. Apparently, Ed's been writing articles about this guy who kidnaps people who have bad relationships. Now, you may be asking, Kid and Arcader, if the brothers are here because the Reconciler Facebook stalked them and wanted them to reconcile their differences, why is Ed there? What's his deal? Is he the therapy cuck in his therapy cuck chair? Have there been other such cases of swinger therapy cuckage? A flashback takes us to two drug enforcement cops locked in an SUV together. Stacy, that's Stacy, is partnered with Bill, that's Bill, and they've both been drugged. Nice! Stripped of their ammo and incapable of breaking a window, the two are forced to listen to a recording from the Reconciler. A recording recorded on an Olympus VN 7200 digital memo recorder! What, you thought I wouldn't be able to identify that? You must be new here. Make sure you're subscribed so you can become old here. As for these two partners in brine, I call this situation... really? Usually suspicious hoery happens outside unethical regulations. Or rush hour. Anyway, what's their beef? Did someone get shot in the line of duty? Someone cheat on their spouse with the other one? Oh, no, wait, Stacy got passed over for a promotion in favor of Bill and got jealous. So jealous, she's putting in a transfer to a different department. Wait, so what did Bill do? His job? This feels more like they're sleeping with each other, but maybe that's just the Sean Justice aura. Also, good God, that awful Jigsaw voice effect is somehow still better than Spiral. What is happening?
Hello, detectives. I'm sure by now you're wondering how you got here and what's happening.
Hello, Detective Boswick. I want to play a game.
I reject this reality. It's not fair. It's not fair. Okay, so the Reconciler can force people who aren't married or related to reconcile. Does that mean Ed is secretly the boy's guidance counselor? Well, no. Ed apparently challenged the Reconciler to show him his methods. So we're back to the therapy cuck chair thing. Editor, did we already pull up a photo of a therapy cuck chair? Can you throw that together for me? Perfect. See that? That's where you sit, Ed. The flu makes my brain tickle. Ed confesses to naming the Reconciler, and then there's this weird moment where Alex insists that they keep the Reconciler gender neutral, but everyone ignores him? This movie's fucking weird. Ed got a postcard from the Reconciler threatening him, which, like, okay. Ed then tells us that there have been suspects, like Joe Sanford, the bereaved orphan survivor of the richest man in the state, William Sanford. He was estranged from his incredibly wealthy father, you know, William Sanford, the richest man in the state, who invited his estranged son, Joe, out to Lake Tahoe. Joe ignored the call, and his dad and his family crashed in a horrible accident. Joe survived when he should have died, and now death is tracking him down. Wait, no, that's Final Destination. What are we talking about? Oh, right, suspects. Other suspects include, nope, that's it, just Joe. The gang are still trying to figure out if this is in fact a reconciliatory kidnapping, as they are absent any note or small recorder giving them the rules of the game.
Maybe you're the note.
All right, don't make this fucking weird, Alex. The mood is already strange enough without your fucking all I want for Christmas is you, big bro, coffee commercial energy. Fuck.
Come again?
I have yet to come a first time, Ed. Don't clip that. Promise me you won't clip that. James, who was Smitty, locates the 3 letters in the trunk. Finally, some fucking instructions. And yep, look at that. The boys have beef and Ed's meant to watch. Great. Let's just flash back to a different set of victims now. That's fine. We can just... Oh my God, that guy is swole. Are we totally sure this isn't some pseudo-pornographic remake of Saw? Right. I need to name this. Let's see. Bodybuilding is Christ-like, especially pectoral, spiritually speaking, or biceps, because cannot get over that. So out of place. Cannot. These two are Jeff, that's Jeff, credited as Xander Steele, by the way, can't make that up, and his son JR, that's JR, not Junior, as far as I can tell, just JR. The two are conked out, as is tradition, and stuck together via some gang chains. I did not come up with that term, by the way, that's just what they're called. Long handcuffs are gang chains, so get mad at the gangs. JR is immediately hostile to the fact that his dad doesn't seem happy about having been kidnapped and chained to his son, and Jeff seems like he didn't want kids. A letter from the Reconciler confirms as much, informing them that in order to attain their freedom, they must hike up this trail that they've been putting off for a while? Okay. Anyway, their key to freedom is in a backpack at the top of the trail, as well as some water. On your mark, get set, smash chain with the flat side of a rock. Yeah! Ah, damn it, it didn't work. As punishment, we're sent to meet Detective Tilton. Tilton, that's Tilton, has just been called by a blasé woman reporting her sons have been missing for 3 days. Okay, so first of all,
you can't report anybody missing for a full 24 hours.
That's a fucking lie. I don't know who came up with that, but it's very incorrect. You do not need to wait 24 hours to report someone missing. If grandpa with dementia wanders off and he's been gone for 5 hours, or, I don't know, if your toddler vanishes from your backyard, the cops aren't going to tell you, well, he's not really missing because the sun hasn't gone around the planet. No, they're gonna help you fill out a missing persons report. Fuck, don't hesitate. Report the missing. This is a life lesson brought to you by Kid and Arcader. Second, this woman waited 3 days to report her twin sons missing, which, damn, how long were they passed out in that warehouse? Also, what the fuck, Mom? 3 days? Those are your kids. Suspicious as hell. Hella sussy. Do people still say that? Detective Tilton is on the case, though, and has a sneaking suspicion as to who might have kidnapped the boys. He glances over at a corkboard full of Reconciler victims. Oh my God! Okay, we've got the 2 cops, but they were found, so we don't have to charge for anything about them. However, there's 4 more couples, 3 of which have been found, and 1 couple as yet to be found. Yeah, those people might be dead. Charge for 8 more sedatives, and you know what? We should check on that reporter from earlier. Yeah. No, not Ed. Lori! You remember Lori. She's been running all over town interviewing people about stuff. Let's see. She started off interviewing a priest with a leaky tree. You want to get that checked. Then went to a soup kitchen and talked to a guy who is not very generous with the soup. Okay. Now she's in some random home talking to a little girl that apparently died. Ghost child? No, not nearly as cool. This bit is way more fucked up though. So Amanda, that's Amanda, was at one time very horribly no good, very bad ill with some unknown virus. She got so sick that she died. Straight up, her soul was ripped from her body and taken to heaven.
Like going to the beach.
Now you may be wondering, why would a little girl be stricken with a horrible wasting disease and taken to the afterlife? No, not because of nature or science or anything like that. No, it's so that Jesus Christ can make her give a message to Lori. Jesus is coming for you, Lori.
And he loves you very much. And he wants you back.
He wants you back. That's right, Jesus, like an abusive ex, killed a child and brought her back to life just to send a message to Lori. Lori is, understandably, horrified.
Put me back on the social page.
Lori wants off this story because, obviously. But nope, her boss is insisting. Find proof of God or find another job. This guy's a maniac. Oh, right.
Nah, not anymore.
What does that mean?
Back in the warehouse, Alex and James are finally admitting why they have been feuding. You see, the brothers were raised in a strict religious household. When they turned 18, James decided he wanted to explore his faith and understand what it meant to be a Christian. Alex, meanwhile, flipped his shit and said that learning about religion is cult behavior. I am not making that up, by the way.
You never let me live my faith out in my own way. Your own way. Do you even hear yourself talk? That's how cults start.
Alex, that is literally black and white. You know what? I'm starting to notice a trend with all these falling outs. See, someone is definitely at fault, and someone else has every right to piece the fuck out. And then the reconciler forces the reasonable person to put up with the insane bullshit because reasons, I guess? Also, he hides Bluetooth speakers around the room to scare everyone with the sounds of Silent Hill. Wait, is this actually a Silent Hill movie? Are we lost in the fog? James? James, I can't see you. It's foggy. James? The fog looks like cardboard boxes. James! Eventually, Alex goes to have a poop and think montage. Man, this song sucks. Also, remember Jeff and his son JR with their arduous mountain to climb? Yeah, that might be the safest trail I've ever fucking seen. Freaking bullshit, man. What's their deal again? Soldier dad didn't want to stay home with family. Kid wants his insanely jacked dad to be around more. It's a big ask. Better walk off the mountain instead. You know, I'm beginning to see why your shredded father didn't want to take you hiking, JR. You kinda suck at this. Thankfully, your dad can bench 10,000 pounds, so he pulls his kid up pretty easily. Unfortunately, JR has the heart of a sea anemone and collapses from exhaustion. Jeff proceeds to carry his son up the very safe, steady, wheelchair-accessible mountain trail. The danger is palpable. He could get a blister. Nope, wait, they made it safely. Also, the cops got out once they realized that only one of them had a fucking problem. And Maybe that's why she got passed up on the promotion. All right, let's wrap this up. Lori interviews an elderly woman who argues World War II and the Civil Rights Movement were caused by godlessness. Lori is then moved by this and heads home, where it's revealed she's the wife of Jeff and the mom of JR. They're getting along now, by the way. She then sits down to read the Bible and cries. Yeah. Back in the warehouse, James and Alex make nice and promise to talk more often, I guess. And Ed reveals he's not who he said he was.
My name isn't Ed.
I knew it. He's Joe Sanford, rich orphan, son of William Sanford, right?
No, I'm not.
Okay, then he's still got to be the reconciler, right? I mean, come on. Ed motions to the keypad, unlocking it, revealing he's been present at every kidnapping. Okay, so he is culpable. Here he is unlocking the cop's car. Here he is preparing to strangle Jeff if he can't save his son. Weird flex. So he's a Sith Lord? Oh, no, wait.
So you work for the Reconciler?
Yes.
Oh, okay, well, let's just adjust the budget real quick. Subtract Ed's sedative, because he drugged himself. Wait, hang on, he just burst into sparkles. Ed's a wizard and he works for Jesus. But if Ed's a wizard, then he never needed his cane, which means Ed's cane was performative. Bill it! So Ed is kind of like one of Jigsaw's apprentices, which means we can still charge Ed for all these traps. Yeah, okay, it all makes sense. This also means they ripped off Saw by having one of the writers in the cast and it be a villain. So yeah, that works. But instead of making him a Twinkie wet dream, he's a magician's apprentice. Okay, yeah, sure, man, yeah, that's fine, man. I think I have a fever. James and Alex are rescued by Detective Tilton, and the credits roll on this weird movie full of sexual tension. Okay, let's do some math. Did Ed threaten the mental stability of strangers on the cheap? Or did he spend too many tithes on supplies? Let's find out! In total, the Reconciler spent approximately $3,454.27 on sedatives, supplies, keys, and chains. Licensed therapist not included. Adjusting for inflation, that's around $4,739.23 in 2025. But can he afford it? Well, I mean, with the salary of a reporter, sure. With the salary of a wizard, definitely. I have opinions about this movie. I think it's cute in a bad movie kind of way, but I don't know if I like the message. You shouldn't be kidnapped and forced into reconciling with someone who has an issue with you living your best life at the expense of literally no one. Hell no. That's not healing, that's trauma bonding. Also, if a deity kills a little girl and brings her back to life just to send you a message, that's a demon, bro. Life lessons with Kitten Arcader. All in all, The Reconciler is exactly what it looks like. I kind of wish this remake was sexier, if I'm being honest, but I'll take what I can get. But what do you think? You think The Reconciler is dumb? He has a better win rate than Jigsaw, with about the same expense level as the first Saw movie. Maybe we need 9 more Reconcilers to know where we stand. I want to give a huge shout out to my wife Annalise for editing this video, also while sick with the flu. Yep, the whole office is sick. Me, Annalise, me, Annalise, me, and also Annalise. Love you. I also want to thank all of our YouTube and Patreon members. Without you, I wouldn't be able to buy all this Dayquil in tissue boxes. We needed them. God, my eyes are itchy. Oh, I need another cup of tea. Oh, I'm staring at it. Oh, it's calling to me. Oh. Extra special shout out to members of the feet tier. No feet pics with this tier yet, but I'm close. I'm real close. Oh, and I will say your internet name out loud for all to hear. Up next is something probably. Until Dawn, the game, Saw 2 Flesh and Blood, Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Yep, all of that and more. Always more, because I'm here to make stuff. If you're here to watch, thanks.